DearPiggy's JavaScript tutorials. So I actually haven't seen you guys in a couple weeks now, so our skills might be slightly rusty, which is perfectly okay. We're going to start off simple and gradually build up a little bit more. So this video should be short and sweet, should be. Sometimes my short videos end up taking a long time for some reason. But we are going to learn about a number property and specifically the toPrecision method. Now there are actually so many number properties that exist, and I could go on for days talking about them, but you know me, I'm rather impatient. I just chose the most important one and one that I thought you guys might use the most in the future, and that's what we're going to be working on today. So let's go ahead and jump right into the toPrecision method. Let's go ahead and go to Replit and go ahead, start coding. We're going to log in. Oh my gosh, log in this way, that's right. I was like, I shouldn't be signing up for another account. Okay, so go ahead and create your new REPL, HTML, CSS, JS. Again, every time I start off, for the sake of simplicity and for you guys, I'm going to be writing all of the JavaScript kind of on the HTML page, which actually isn't the best practice, but since we're just starting off here, I want you guys to understand how JavaScript connects to HTML. So let's go ahead and take a look at our PowerPoint slide. So basically the toPrecision function is going to basically give us a specific length of a string, probably specifically a number in that string, right? So in mathematical terms, scientific terms, lots of times you will have a number, and this number can be 1,000,000 digits long. Cross your fingers that it's not, but we can say that when you have a really, really long number with many, many digits, you can actually, using this method, you can tell it how many digits you want to cut it to, and then it's going to round. So, in my opinion, this is honestly pretty useful. So this is actually pretty simple. All we're going to have to do is we're going to first give it a variable of like my number or something, and we're going to have to give it a number. So let's give it a pretty long decimal number. I usually like to work with decimals, as this is usually what will be going on in real life. So say we're going to use 9.7624234. I'm just at this point putting in some random numbers. So we have 9.762341. Pretty random, honestly. And so yeah, let's go ahead and use the toPrecision method. I want to print out these simplified ways onto the HTML web page right here. So in order to do that, we're going to go all the way back to lesson 3, and we are going to work with DOM elements. So remember what that basically means is we're going to create an empty ID here. So we're basically creating an empty container where we can write and print out our JavaScript code. So I'm going to create my empty paragraph tag, and I'm going to have nothing in it. Assign it an ID of, let's give it the precision, because that's kind of what we're working with. So now if I want to print something out, I can just say document.getElement by ID. Which ID do we want? We want the ID called precision, and set the HTML to be equal to, and now we're going to use the toPrecision method. So basically, since our variable here is my num, we would have to say, let me go ahead and move this onto the next line, but we're going to say my num, and then we're going to say dot. So my num dot toPrecision. And so this is basically saying run the function toPrecision on the my num variable. Okay, so quick and easy, very, very simple. Whoa, where did my code go? So we're just going to run this and let's see what kind of happens. And unsurprisingly, it gives us the entire number. Why? Because we did not give this toPrecision method any digit. So basically, if we take a look here, if you don't put any number in your toPrecision parentheses, wow, that was a tongue twister. If you don't put anything in there, it's basically going to give you the exact variable, word for word, or, well, in this case, number by number. So now let's go ahead and try to mix it up a little bit and actually give it some digits. So if I gave it 3, you guys can take a guess. What do you think is going to happen? We get 9.76. Now, the reason why it gives 9.76 is it does not count decimal places. So ignore the decimal places. It's going to count digit-wise. So it's going to go 9 is your first digit, 7 second, and 6 is your third. I just switched that up over there. So since we put 3, it's going to kind of limit everything to our third digit here. And just something to kind of show you guys, this stuff actually gets rounded. So remember, rounding is a math principle. Anything greater than 5 rounds up, anything less than 5 rounds down. And in this case, since we chose 3, the digit after 6 is 2, which means that it rounds down, so it stays the same. If I were to say only give me 2 digits, we run our code and now it gives us 9.8. So basically, because this third digit here is 6, it rounded up. So again, we're kind of getting more used to the toPrecision method. That's quite a tongue twister. So we know 2, 3, 4, all of it is the same. But say, what if I just gave it 10? And obviously we know that this number does not have 10 digits, right? So that means if I run my code, it's going to fill up the remaining 3 spots with zeros, because we know that zeros is the same thing. So that's kind of basically what it does. Now you'll see here on my picture that I did use something slightly more complicated looking, and it's really not. So let me go ahead and kind of show you this. It just prints out multiple things using one of the DOM elements, and let me kind of show you what that does. So say that I don't want to print just this. I want to print a little bit more. So say I wanted to print 2, 4, 6, all of that. How I would do that is I would kind of put it on one line. So I would say, give us rounding to, let's just say give it rounding to nothing. So let's just give us the plain number. Then give us so what they did is they put it on separate lines here, which in my opinion does not really matter. So, but maybe it'll be more clear to read. So toPrecision again, and this time round it to 3. Then go ahead and round it all the way to 6, and last but not least, go ahead and round it to 10. Okay, so let's run this really fast and let's just take a look at what happens, honestly. And that is a big string of numbers. It looks like gibberish, not exactly the effect we were going for, right? We kind of need a little bit more work in this. So this is kind of where I'm going to teach you guys just a teeny bit of HTML to kind of go with us. And we're going to do this. In the quotation marks, we're going to do angle brackets and BR. So for those of you who have a little bit of basics in HTML, which you should probably check out the HTML tutorials, they would be helpful as well. BR is a line break, which essentially moves everything onto the next line. So in order for all this jumble mess of letters, of numbers to be kind of cleared up, we need everything, every separate toPrecision thing to move on to the next line. The reason why we put this in quotation marks is because everything in the script tag is JavaScript code. In order to run HTML code in here, we'd have to put it in the quotation marks. Now the angle brackets are, again, just a type of format for HTML. If you are confident in HTML, you know these angle brackets are basically the fundamentals of HTML. If you don't, just go ahead and copy it down. But basically what this means is it's going to give us a line break. Again, I highly recommend you to go and check out the HTML tutorials because HTML and JavaScript always go hand in hand. All right, so now if I run my code, we're going to, whoopsies, what happened here? Everything kind of disappeared. Let me go ahead and see what I did wrong. So we'll do some okay, so I gave it a line break, but then I need to remember to add another plus sign here. And why is that? Because I don't want everything to just end after this line break. I want it to continue to bring this as well as this as well as this. So if I don't put these plus signs, it's just going to stop right after this first line break here. It's not exactly what we're going for. Run your code, and we have all of our numbers on separate lines. As you can see, toPrecision without a number in it just gives us this original number. Rounded to 3 digits, rounded to 6 digits, and rounded to 10 digits. Right, so that was just kind of the toPrecision method. Again, it very possibly may come in handy if you're working with math or science, or honestly anything with numbers. So I'm not sure how long that took. I'm crossing my fingers that it was quick and short, and I hope you guys understand it. I will see you guys in the next videos for arrays. So I'll see you then. Bye, guys.